Well, guys, we have a ban list, so I want to talk about the cards that are hit or changed or whatever and give my thoughts on it. This is not a blind react. I have seen the list. I watched it as they debuted it during the YCS stream, which I'll talk about first, I guess. I think that's kind of cool. Glad I don't have to wait for it, first of all. But also, like, if we can tie it to an event, then it'd be more predictable, you know? If we could say, yeah, ban list will be announced after YCS, blah, 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 in the future, that's kind of cool, and I'm here for it. So, how they did it was fine. It was pretty funny with the guy with the briefcase, Jerome. But, yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, so let's start off with the ban cards. We're going to go through the ban cards, the cards at 1, 2, and then 3. Starting off with the main banned card of the list, which is Original Sinful Spoils. So obviously the fire decks are all hurt. The at least the combo ones. We have Snake Eyes basically going away. Like, Snake Eye can still do all the same stuff it did before, except now Diabellstar and Wanted are not starters for the deck anymore, nor extenders, right? Or they're extenders as bodies, but they don't get you to Ash or Poplar or anything. So that's a nice change. I like that. You know, it was necessary. Unfortunately, I just picked up the fire decks, but it is what it is. Like, it's totally deserved, and I kind of expected it was coming. And one of the fire decks actually got some piece back, so if you don't know yet, we'll talk about that in the Unlimited section. The other bans here are weird. First, Jaugen. Not really sure. Like, this was played a little bit in Runic Stun, like 2 formats ago, but I don't know. Like, I don't know why this is banned now. Is there something new coming out? Like, this was played with Spellbook and Judgment. Nobody's playing Spellbooks unless there's new Spellbook cards coming, and this is a preemptive hit. I don't think so. I don't understand it. Then we have Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. This is about 2 years too late. Nobody's playing Branded anymore. Branded Fusion at 1, Impulse is out. Nobody can even resolve Branded Fusion, so like, I haven't seen a Branded player since Branded Fusion went to 1. And yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do with this hit anymore. Like, we could have used this when Branded was good. Or maybe like bring Branded Fusion back to 2. That would be nice as well, now that the kind of the worst thing the deck can do is gone. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully this will start them to consider bringing back Branded Fusion a little bit to 2 or something, because I liked Branded as an engine and as a deck, but because it was like a Gimmick Puppet Nightmare Turbo deck, I wasn't a fan. So I'm hoping that now that this card is gone, people can kind of, we can bring Branded stuff back. Alright, those are the 3 bans. Those are the only 3. So we have Nightmare, Jaugen, and Original. On to the limits. Starting off, Chandra. I am a Tenpai hater, so I'm a huge fan of this. In my opinion, I wish they would just ban it and got it out the way. But yeah, Chandra to 1. I literally lost at locals today to a top deck Chandra, so I'm, you know, fresh off a loss, loving this hit. The next hit is also a Tenpai hit, which is Tenpai Singing Kaiman. Yeah, like, get rid of this deck. This deck, I don't like it, and I've said why in the past before. And it's because, like, players that just aren't good get free wins because they normal summon Chandra, and it's just annoying. Plus, this was the most oppressive, well, not the most oppressive. It's a shifter deck that's gone, is essentially what I'm saying. And you'll notice that they didn't ban shifter. They didn't hit shifter in the rest of this list, spoiler now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this was one of the biggest offenders of shifter decks, so yeah, I'm glad we've moved on from that. The next card to 1 is a extra deck card, Phantom of Yubel. I think this card definitely deserves to go to 1, especially since it can be summoned more than once per turn. I think it's kind of silly. So yeah, it's a solid hit to Yubel, to be honest. Like, a lot of Yubel combos relied on using one Phantom as extender and then setting one up later as an interruption. Now they can't do that anymore. They have to choose whether to use Phantom as a extender or a disruption, but still the versatility of this card, Phantom of Yubel, is so good. So, yeah, I think it deserves to go to 1. I think 1 is a good place for it. It's a fair place for it. I think it's a really neat piece. And because it's only playable in Yubel, I think it's nice to have at 1 and not banned. But, yeah, Yubel is still a force to be reckoned with. And then the last limit is going from 0 to 1 is Zodiac Barrage. I don't think this is going to do much of anything. Really, I'm not sure. Target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special win Zodiac from your deck. Zodiac is just like weaker Ryziel at this point, so I don't know. I don't see anybody playing this, and Drident is still at 0, and Broad Bull is still at 0. There's nothing to even make with the Zodiac that you summon. I mean, I guess you can have it as a level 4 extender for Ryziel, but yeah, there's nothing going on with Zodiac, I don't think, unless Trident or Broad Bull's back. Okay, on to the cards that go to 2. First one is Cyberjar. I think they're just going to go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and nobody's going to touch this card. We have the Dangers. We have Jackalope and Tsuchinoko, both going from 1 to 2, which is pretty sweet. I like these cards. I like Danger cards in general. I think they're fun. So yeah, I don't have any complaints about this at the moment. I think this is also a boost to decks like Goblin Bikers or something maybe, or I don't know what rank 3 spam there is. But yeah, I think it's an interesting choice, and I'm excited to see what decks start playing this. I think any decks with Dangers is kind of fun. Add a little RNG to the game. And they're still good cards. No matter if you win or lose the coin toss, right? So I think, I don't know, it's kind of cool. The next one is going to be Ava. This one is the same. It's going to go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and nobody's going to touch it. It's only played in like Drytron or something, and Drytron is not played, so I don't know. Maybe Drytron players are happy about this one, but I don't think you were going to see any of that. So I don't know, just something cool. And then the last one on this part of the list is Monkey Board to 2. Same deal as the other ones. Nobody's playing Pendulum. Yeah. All right. It'll go to 3 next list. And then the rest are all cards that are going to 3 copies. We're going to start off with the Dragon Rulers, all 4 of them. Blaster, Redox, Tempest, and Tidal. They are finally free off the ban list. It took 10 years, but here we are. Yeah, these they're really cool cards, but they're not playable in 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh or 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. So kind of cool to have back, to have around, but that's fine. The next one is Airlifter. So I mentioned before, one of the fire decks would get some consistency back. That's Rescue Ace. Airlifter coming back from 1 to 3. Now that original Sinful Spoils is banned. I like this change. Specifically because I picked up the fire decks and Rescue Ace was the one I wanted to play the most. So, yeah, kind of neat. I like this, and I need to pick up my set. I only have one, so we're gonna get some more of those. Next one is Pankratops. I think this one is one of the most impactful cards changes potentially on this list. I'm not sure how Pank is this format. Probably not great into Ryziel because Detonator will just protect. Yeah, it's probably bad. So that's probably why it's going to 3. Fenrir's at 3. Fenrir's just better. So, yeah, I think it's overdue for Pank to come back to 3. Now we have Lunalight Tiger back to 3. Nobody's really playing this. There's a couple guys in my comments saying they like to play the Lunalights. Awesome. Let it rip. Let me know what you come up with. But, yeah. And then we have a surprising one, opening the Spirit Gates back to 3. Yubel is unhit except for Phantom to 1. So I think it's a really strong deck. Like, I think this is one of the sleepers in the next format. Not sleepers, like, it's not a surprise, but it's almost full power, man. Like, it's pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Yubel fighting for some top slots in the next format. And then we have 2 more extra deck cards going to 3. We have Thunder Dragon Colossus. It was at 2, now it's at 3. That makes no difference. Unless Thunder Dragon comes back, like the archetype itself. But, yeah. doesn't matter. And then Ib, again, it wasn't seen. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 or 3. Anyone playing this is only playing 1 of it. So yeah, back to 3 is just cleaning up the list. All right, so that wraps up the ban list summary. Let me talk about a couple cards I would have liked to see on the list. The first one is going to be Crossout Designator. I think this one is a little bit overdue for being addressed, especially because like Ryziel can play this card and they play every other hand trap, and it's like to actually combat Ryziel you have to open 3 hand traps, because if they have Crossout you're kind of cooked. So yeah, that's one that I wish was addressed. Shifter, of course, it should be banned now. I don't like having an auto win card in the format with no like play around or no like counterplay essentially, except for Call by the Grave and Crossout. Playing Shifter in a deck that doesn't want to play Shifter, like that's kind of dumb. So yeah, I want to get rid of that card. Other cards I would like to see addressed. I mean, Ryziel and Malice are just too new to do anything about. If there was going to be any card to hit Ryziel with right now, it would be Bonfire, just for consistency. Plus, it's a second-hand hit to some of the fire decks, or to Snake Eye specifically. But Original's gone, so Snake Eye is essentially gone as well. So I don't think Bonfire is really a relevant hit besides Ryziel now. What else? Like, as much as because I'm not a Malice player, I like that this card exists, but for a Malice player, I think this is annoying. Artifact Lancia, it's another kind of floodgatey card. It's like another D-shifter type of card, so I guess they could have hit that too, but yeah. And then one more card that I'm surprised is not hit yet, even just to 1 or something, is Wanted. And probably because we have a lot of Azumina support, and this card supports Azumina and all that kind of thing. But this card is really good, so I would have expected to, or I wouldn't have been surprised to see this go to 1 or 2. And then while we're at it, because this card is relevant in one of the like best decks being played right now, Pot of Desires as well. It went down to 1, and then to 2, and then to 3, right? And now it's still at 3, and now Ryziel can play it, and just having the +1 in a deck like Ryziel is kind of crazy. So, I don't know. You could see this one going back down in the future. We'll see, but not this list. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the ban list discussion. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, sub to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content and want to see some more. It would really help me out. And with that, we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you soon.